Hey-o!
That was
very loud.
That was beautiful though.
I feel there was some harmony there.
Yeah. It's like the when we do To Be Fair.
To be fair.
Wow, we're nailing it.
We're killing it today.
Anyway, Brad, go ahead, intro it.
All right. Welcome once again to the Best Friends Discuss podcast with Brad and Mike and Gage. All three together once again.
Like peanut butter and jelly and
Bread.
yes.
No one ever thinks of bread.
Yeah. Or we're the Three Musketeers. I'm D'Artagnan, of course. That's like my third time making that joke.
Yeah, I was about to say, you've made it a couple times.
Yeah, I know.
And so far, nobody's laughed.
Not even anyone at home.
None of my family listens to this. And for the family members who do listen to this, they're going to be pissed that I said that. All right. So, Brad, you wanted to record a very specific podcast, or you have something specifically in mind for this episode. So that's why I let you introduce it. You've been talking our ears off non-stop.
Really? Because the only person talking today has been you.
Can confirm.
Like I said, non-stop.
Yeah.
Stop looking at me and licking your lips.
I'm licking my mustache. There's a difference.
Okay.
Yeah, get your facts right.
Well,
Facts don't care about your feelings, Mike.
nobody cares about my feelings.
You're right.
That's why I have two best friends who hate you guys, love you guys. Thanks for coming.
Hey, no problem.
So,
what we
Brad,
So,
get on it. Go ahead.
I found
Anytime now.
I will punch you in the face.
I'll stop.
I won't stop him.
As pals should. Not. Yeah. We went the same way. Go ahead.
So, I found a little story. It's basically a reason on why humans and aliens have not mixed. We haven't found each other yet, right? There's multiple different reasons people have come up with. So Fermi's paradox is a paradox where they say we haven't met aliens because once you get to the point where you could do space travel, you fight within yourselves to the point of self-destruction. So no alien species has come across another one because they've always destroyed themselves before they got the chance.
So basically, once the technology gets advanced enough, then, the classic nuclear fallout, everyone fucking destroys everybody, and then we're done. Technology gets set way back down into the Stone Age, and as we all know, history is set to repeat itself. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And life starts over.
Isn't that kind of neat? Yeah.
But here's the thing. So say there was alien life on the moon, right? We've already gotten to the moon.
So there's
You're
no
right, Mike.
alien life on the moon.
Well, say there was. Then that defeats the purpose.
We would have ran into them.
But we
by
would have
now.
ran into them.
Right.
And we haven't.
Right.
Or that's the reason we haven't been back to the moon.
But so what you're saying is when we get to the point of technology where space travel is a thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
That we will never see another species, another alien life, because the distance we go.
No, because we destroy ourselves before we ever get the chance.
Because the technology...
That's Fermi's paradox. So even though we want to find aliens, we never can find aliens because we'll fight within ourselves too much beforehand. So basically, right now, we're starting to get the technology. Let's say in 100 years, we get the technology to leave our solar system. But within 75 years, we're just going to nuclear blast ourselves into extinction.
Okay.
Or, once it gets to that point of we have the technology, but then we've exhausted all of our planet's resources, and we self-implode our planet, and we all die. Anyways, the poles swap in... what's it called?
So Fermi's paradox is basically saying that's why no aliens have met yet. Because every culture has done that. Whether
We've
they're
done
on
that,
our
and the
galaxy
aliens are
or
doing
other
it.
galaxies. They've done the same thing.
I because we have space travel. We don't go as far. It's like going across the street.
Yeah, we can't escape our solar system. That's what I'm saying.
Right, but like if there was life form on the moon, we've already gotten to the moon. So that's what I'm arguing is the fact that if there was life on the moon, we at least got to the moon. We could have founded life.
But it's under the impression that
solar
you're
system,
only gonna find aliens on planets that are able to sustain life, like our own. So either us as humans and every other quote unquote aliens that live on an Earth-like planet do the same exact thing that we do.
Yeah, but okay. All right.
I feel like he's not getting it.
Well, I don't think he is either.
I'm just saying, like you go across the street, you expect to see a person
on planet Earth.
On planet Earth, right? I was just thinking in my head of we have space travel, we just don't get as far as we want to.
Yeah,
I mean, you're thinking like John Carter-esque aliens living on a planet that has completely different environment than Earth does.
Like aliens don't need to breathe oxygen, but we do. So it's alien to us, but it's normal for them. That's what I'm saying of like if we went to Mars or the next planet, if we went to the next planet instead of the moon and Mars and we founded life, boom, we founded life, but we didn't get out of our system. We just went across the street pretty much.
Yeah. Well, we know for a fact that there's no living life forms on any of the planets in our solar system.
Yeah.
And even the interesting part about that, though, is if you think about it, and what about, with our Hubble telescope and all of that stuff? Like, you think we would have possibly seen another spaceship in another galaxy traveling in between planets?
Aren't those shooting stars?
No? Is that what you were told growing up?
Listen, I was told a lot growing up. Freaking coffee stunts your growth. It's okay to eat eggs. It's not okay to eat eggs. It's only okay to eat the yellow part of the eggs. Only okay to eat the white part of the egg.
Eggs are okay. Just don't eat the bacon.
Yeah. Or hey, don't eat that whole chicken, because
hey, your dad'll come back.
I was waiting to see who would make it.
That's fair, Brad. Says the one who knows his dad.
Yeah.
Okay. But here's the interesting thing though is that we hold on, wait for Gage to finish drinking. I don't want to use
my water.
Yeah. Is what most people don't know is that we've actually made contact with aliens. They just come across the border.
Hey-o!
I was
not expecting that one from you.
Yeah, I was waiting.
Fully coming from you, Brad.
It brings a tear to my eye.
They grow up so quick.
I mean, it's like
what's up with you guys in your role reversal today?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, it is weird. By the way, from the episode with Mandy, I mentioned something about Downs, and I was like, "Oh, sorry, Gage possessed me and made me say that."
Oh no, great.
But I get what everybody's saying of the series. I'm just saying like we haven't gone far enough.
Yeah, but the whole theory...
Fermi's paradox is saying we'll never get far enough.
Right, then...
We'll destroy ourselves before we ever get the chance to go far enough.
Right, and neither the aliens would get far enough. But
it's just a theory on why nobody has come across it.
No, and it is an interesting thing. Let me ask this then. Do you think there's alien life?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay.
There's no way in the ginormous, even just our singular galaxy, that we're the only life forms.
Right.
Only intelligent and advanced life forms. even. No, there's has to be a multitude. There's no way that there's only one singular planet that just so happens to form life.
Right. So what about, because I think it was the moon, maybe Mars, but
Mars, water, and found many organisms.
Yeah.
and-
Yeah, that was Mars.
would you
Yeah.
count that as alien life?
Well,
Because eventually,
the organisms weren't alive.
Yeah, they were
anymore.
fossilized.
I think, at a time in the past, there was a form of life forms. And, maybe even if we did more research and more excavation and stuff on Mars, that we might find, fossils of, more, maybe not necessarily humanoid, but advanced life. But that just shows at one point in time, Mars was capable of inhabiting life.
right.
That's why it's the next kind of best option in the discussion of the science field for, if we were to fuck everything up here on Earth.
Which is coming.
Oh, it's already here. Let's be honest. I mean, you always hear people talk about how it's good because working where we work in retail, it's, the good old, would you like a bag? And I always hear it from like the older customers and stuff. They're like, nah, we'll save a bag. Gotta leave something for my grandchildren to live on this planet. And little comments like that where they've kind of become more self-aware about that stuff. But yeah, so I think at one point Mars, was
Viable living.
yeah. But I think,
Society.
by the expanding sun, it was cut short in its possibilities of what it could have been. If that didn't happen, there could easily be just across the street another life form.
Right. Do you think, I can't remember, of what we sent to Mars, did we bring anything back?
I think we've
Like
just
samples?
gotten some
Or just-
dirt samples.
Like dirt and rocks.
So do you think they can like take the fossils of the organisms and do like a Jurassic Park kind of thing? Like, do you imagine
I knew that's
those?
where you were gonna go with that as soon as you said the
Yes,
fossils.
yes, some Jurassic virus. That's what we need.
Yeah.
Some alien virus to just wipe us out.
Dude, we can mutate. Grow some wings. third
Well, you
arm,
got to think. I mean, that just fundamentally comes down to.
and man, body.
I mean, that's just the huge kind of gray area. I mean, I don't know how familiar you are with like CRISPR and stuff like that with actual like genetic
Yeah, no.
editing.
We talked about that on another podcast of like they're taking like mice.
Yeah, they have already grown with mice. They have already grown genetically perfect mice from a singular skin cell of a mouse. Mm-hmm. They've grown an actual whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you heard about like when making the mice, they were able to select their DNA and their
genes,
genomes.
eye color, fur color.
But with having, by doing that, it's like if they change their fur from like white to orange or something like that, they can't smell. Like, so it's like connected weirdly, entwined with each other. So I just find that interesting, that the fact that if like Gage, you change your eye color, you won't be able to smell, or you won't be able to.
Well, I think
beard.
that's just more of the general them not fully understanding what the true genes do to a full effect. You know what I mean?
Entire genetic code.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just weird that stuff like that is connected, though.
Well, I mean, if you think about even where that's come from, what was it back in the day? Mapping the humanoid genome was like one of the most expensive projects ever done, and it's like 100-something page book of just what is it? A, G, T, and D or C? I can't remember.
Are you talking about the LGBTQ plus?
No.
Because you got the letters all wrong.
No, but they literally have a book. It's like the Book of Life or something like that, and it is the whole human genome
Book of Mormon.
in 3-letter pairs of what is it? A, T, G, and C. I think are the 4.
It's pronounced GMC.
Oh my gosh. But like they dumped so much money into that. And then just from then when that happened in the late 1900s to now where we're actually able to, select certain genes and replace them with like a lesser risk gene of cancer and stuff like that. And that's just over the past maybe 20 years.
Yeah. It's crazy.
So the whole being able to pick and choose and mutate yourself, yeah, dude, that's right around the corner. But that also crosses that line of, therapy versus enhancement and right and wrong.
With that is also like stem cells. I always find interesting, or just the cloning process, that how people are able to, with cloning, they were able to make a lamb or a sheep or whatever. I always find that super interesting. And with stem cells, like how they have like people that grow like an extra ear on their face, and so they could take it off and use it.
Or the whole thing with the pigs. How they were messing with the genetics of pigs to actually grow human organs or human compatible organs.
Yeah.
That you could have this farm of pigs. It's like if someone needed a liver, you slaughter a pig, take the meat, use it, eat it, take the liver, and repair their liver.
With some fava beans. A nice Chianti.
So,
Yeah.
Yes, Brad?
if that happened, and then you ate bacon, are you being a cannibal?
No.
Yeah, I would say no.
I
I would say no. Gage's eyes just went wide.
Well, because you're restructuring genetics, which means that fuck.
I would say no.
Which that would be interesting because in a lot of cultures they think like there's like the belief that cannibalism, like increases speed and strength and
It just messes with the mind and makes you go crazy, but it gives you superhuman strength.
Or it turns you into a Wendigo.
But what if you were a cannibal, but half of it was pig? What if it actually does grant you
Wishes?
super strength and super speed, but you don't go crazy because you're not eating a straight human being?
I like this idea.
You get mad pig disease.
Mad pig disease.
Wow, we have derailed.
No, we haven't.
We derailed about 18 minutes ago, and we're 19 minutes in.
Yeah.
Do you have more?
Yeah. So I actually have a story of a reason this guy gives.
Okay.
Kind of a thing. And I found this to be super interesting. Now, I have always loved the story of where, like, we haven't met aliens because they don't want us to meet them because we're in a galactic zoo. And that's why, like, we're just being basically watched. And that's why, like, there's the random, like, sightings of UFOs, but we've never actually met them. And we haven't, like, gone out past because they're not going to allow us to.
Because we're in a zoo.
Yeah, we're basically in a galactic zoo. Which I think is a fun theory.
Is it zooception that we on Earth have zoos?
All right, Gage, I'm going to talk to you from now on.
All right, so let's hear the story.
Real quick, do you think out there somewhere?
Over the rainbow?
Okay, you beat me to it, so
Or
I guess
at the end of the rainbow.
All right, you both beat me to it, so now I'll just go to a serious thing. But do you think out there in another galaxy there's a planet like ours?
Yes.
Absolutely.
That's flat?
No.
Like ours?
Not going to happen. Sorry,
No,
it doesn't
it's
work with
donut
gravity.
shaped. God.
Yeah, it's donut shaped, sorry.
I don't think that'd be possible
No,
either.
it's not.
That would be interesting, though.
We've now just lost all of our flat earther fans now.
Darn.
All two of them.
Off the edge of a cliff,
Yeah.
I hope.
That was it. That was just the serious question I want. Because obviously our Earth is flat.
All right, well...
We've gained back those 2 viewers.
Listen, I got a really nice tweet from our secretary Karen saying like we're losing a lot of followers and listeners to us saying that the Earth is round. So I'm trying to get those viewers back, even if I have to lie and say the Earth is flat.
Well, we lost him again. But you know what? I guess it could be right. We could be losing a lot of followers considering we lost 2 of our 5, but I believe in us.
Well, we're probably losing a lot of followers like the flat earthers because they're just dying because they're also anti-vaxxers. So
damn it! That's the next place I was gonna take that joke. Fuck. All right, now we have actually derailed.
Yes.
Go ahead, Brad.
So he even gives rules on how to engage
Hey-o.
with humans. But I'll read those afterwards because it makes a little bit more sense after you've actually kind of heard the story here. So it's basically a perspective of somebody speaking here. So we knew about the planet called Earth for centuries before we made contact with its indigenous species. Of course, we spent decades studying them from afar. The first researchers had to fight for years to even get a grant, of course. They kept getting laughed out of the halls. A T-class death world that had not only produced sapient life, but a stage 2 civilization. It was a joke, obviously. It had to be a joke. And then it wasn't. And we all stopped laughing. Instead, we got very, very nervous. We watched as the human civilization not only survived, but grew and thrived and invented things that we never even conceived of. Terrible things, weapons of war, implements of destruction as brutal and powerful as the ones would imagine a death world children to be. In the space of less than 2,000 years, they had already produced implements of mass death that would have horrified most of the callous dictators in the long dark history of the galaxy. Already the children of Earth were the most terrifying creatures in the galaxy. They became the stuff of horror stories, nightly warnings told to children, huge hulking brutish things that hacked and slashed and stabbed and shot and burned and survived, that built monstrous metal things that rumbled across the landscape and blasted buildings to ruin.
Like the sexual Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Jesus.
Shout out to Gage, who's sitting next to me.
All that preserved us was their lack of space flight. In their obsession with murdering one another, the humans had locked themselves into a rigid framework of physics and thankfully omitted the equations necessary to achieve interstellar travel. They became our boogeyman, locked away in their prison planet, surrounded by a cordon of non-interference, preventing from ravaging the galaxy only by their own insatiable need to kill one another. Gruesome and terrible, yes, but at least we were safe. Or so we thought.
The Baba Yaga.
The cities were called Hiroshima and Nagasaki. In the moment of their destruction, the humans unlocked a destructive force greater than any of us could have ever believed possible. It was at that moment that those of us who studied their technology knew their escape to be inevitable, and that no force in the universe could have hoped to stand against them. The first human spacecraft were exactly what you would have expected them to be. There were no elegant solar wings, no sleek silvered hulls plying the ocean of stars. They did not soar into solar currents. They did not even register their existence. Humanity flew in the only way it could, on an all-consuming pillar of fire, pounding space itself into submission with explosion after explosion. Their ships were crude, ugly, bulky things, huge slabs of metal welded together, built to withstand the inconceivable forces necessary to propel themselves into space through violence alone.
So
This is awesome.
This is awesome, isn't it?
So Earth just made a giant phallic dildo and fucked space.
Fuck space. Yeah, pretty much.
Wow.
With force and violence. It raped space.
Yeah, we raped it.
Oh, stop. Stop, please.
It was almost comical. The huge dumb brutes simply strapped an explosive to their backs and let it throw them off their planet. We would have laughed if it hadn't terrified us. Humanity at long last was awake. It was a slow process. It took them nearly 100 years to reach their nearest planetary neighbor, 100 more to conquer the rest of their solar system. The process of refining their explosive propulsion systems now powered the same force that had melted their cities into glass less than 1,000 years before. It was slow and haphazard, but it worked. Year by year, they inched forward, conquering and subduing world after world that they had deemed unfit for habitation. They burrowed into moons, built orbital colonies around gas planets, even crafted habitats that drifted in the hearts of blazing nebulas. They never stopped, never slowed. The no-contact cordon was generous and was extended by the day. As human colonies pushed farther and farther outward, we retreated, gave them the space they wanted in a desperate attempt at stalling for time perhaps, or some sort of appeasement, or sheer abject terror. Debates were held daily arguing about whether or not first contact should be initiated and how, and by whom, and with what fail-safes. No agreement was ever reached. We were comically unprepared for the humans to initiate contact themselves. It was almost an accident. The humans had achieved another breakthrough in propulsion, physics, and through an unexpected leap of several hundred light years, coming into orbit around an uninhabited world.
You know what that kind of reminds me of? Of the fact of like we get like time capsules and we send it up to make contact with aliens, and it's like video or voice messages of what we would say, and it's like what's up, you know?
Or what's the one movie with
Pixels?
Pixels, yeah, and then all the aliens adapt and come back and
as like Pac-Man.
Yeah.
Pac-Man. The glare.
No, we're not.
Man.
What ensued was a diplomatic equivalent of everyone staring awkwardly at one another for a few moments and then turning around and walking slowly out of the room. The human ship leapt away after some 30 minutes without initiating any sort of formal communications, but we knew that we had been discovered and the message of our existence was being carried back to Terra. The situation in the Senate could only be described as absolute incoherent panic. They had discovered us before our preparations were complete. What would they want? What demands would they make? What hope did we have against them if they chose to wage war against us and claim the galaxy for themselves? The most meager of human ships was beyond our capacity to engage militarily. Even unarmed transport vessels were so thickly armored as to be functionally indestructible by our weapons.
Jesus.
Keep going and we'll circle back.
Yeah. We waited every day, certain that we were on the brink of war. We hunkered in our homes and stared. Across the darkness of space, humanity stared back. There were other instances of contact. Human ships armed, now entering colonized space for a few scant moments, and then leaving upon finding our meager defense batteries pointed in their direction. They never initiated communications. We were frightened to. A few weeks later, the humans discovered Alphari 296. It was a border world, a new colony on an ocean planet that was proving to be less hospitable than initially thought. Its military garrison was pitifully small to begin with. We had been trying desperately to shore it up, afraid that the humans might sense weakness and attack. But things were made complicated by the disease. The medical staff of the colonies were unable to devise a cure or even a treatment, and what pitiful small population remained on the planet were slowly vomiting themselves to death. When the human fleet arrived in orbit, the rest of the galaxy wrote Alphari 296 off as lost.
Fuck.
This kind of sounds like Valerian, City of a Thousand Planets or whatever.
Never seen it.
Yeah,
I have also not seen it.
It's a...
All right, uncultured swine.
Yes! I was there on the surface when the great gray ships came screaming down from the sky. Crude, inelegant things, all jagged metal and sharp edges, barely holding together. I sat there on the balcony of the clinic full of patients that I did not have the resources or the expertise to help, and looked up with a blank, dumb, numb stare of one who is certain that they are about to die. I remember the symbols emblazoned on the sides of each ship, glaring in the sun as the ships landed inelegantly off the spaceport landing pads that were never designed for anything so large. It had the same symbol that was painted on the helmets of every human that strode out of the ships, carrying huge black cases, their faces obscured by dark visors. It was the first flag that humans ever carried into our worlds. It was a crude image of a human figure, rendered in simple straight lines with a dot for the head. It was painted in white over a red cross. The first humans to approach me was a female, though I did not learn this until much later. It was impossible to ascertain gender through the bulky suit and the mask, but she strode up the stairs into the balcony carrying the black case that was nearly the size of my entire body, and paused as I stared blankly up at her. I was vaguely aware that I was witnessing history and quite certain that I would not live to tell it.
So they're tiny.
Yeah.
They're tiny people.
They're tiny.
So that's why they're like little pea shooters. Like even their most advanced weapon is a pea shooter.
Also, did they just assume the astronaut's gender?
No, they said they couldn't ascertain it.
He's trying to be a dumb smartass. I love you.
Go on, Brad.
Yeah.
Don't touch me.
Then, to my amazement, she said in halting, uncertain words, "Are you the head doctor?" I nodded. The visor cleared, the human bared its teeth at me. I learned later that was a grin, an expression of friendship and happiness among their species. "We are the Doctors Without Borders," she said, speaking slowly and carefully. "We're here to help."
Oh, shit. I didn't see that coming.
No, neither did I when I first read this. But just like the thought of
But the Red
they're
Cross...
scared as shit to us.
But the Red Cross, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Huh.
That took a turn.
Yeah, didn't it?
Is it done?
That's it.
Okay. So I like to imagine like aliens looking at us like we're animals with the whole like strapping a rocket to the back of us, but also to be super afraid of us when like right now our rocket ships don't have any weapons whatsoever.
Yeah.
Other than I guess because it's a giant phallus now. It's just
It's a weapon in itself.
right.
And it spits fire.
It spits fire.
I could eat this. Threatening.
Yeah.
But I love how threatening everybody is. Like they're like, oh shit, the world is coming after us. Earth is coming after us.
My biggest thing is the council meetings and everything they held day after day. You think someone would have been like, did they not have, I don't know, like an Adolf Hitler of their race or someone of mass destruction or some horrible human or some horrible being they couldn't try
Apparently
to
they don't
combat?
think like we do.
Which I guess that's something to think about. They don't think the way we do, but I would have been coming up with ways to
Steal
combat
our technology?
Yeah, combat them coming after us or cloaking or something versus like how do we talk to them? How do we engage them if they do get here?
Ew.
We don't know. Let's run away. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Let's run away. Let's just continuously keep giving them their space.
Yeah.
I also like to picture that, like, going to the Alfonso place 356 or whatever, and it's like they're afraid of our force. And it's like a third world planet that we're visiting.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
But to give aid to it, to help out. That's an interesting one. That's
Yeah.
a good story.
And I love how you didn't know they were all tiny until almost the very end.
Yeah.
Just like a suitcase. Like a briefcase.
Yeah.
They're smaller than that. Like a pelican case is what I assume that they're carrying. Which is probably like double the width of a suitcase. Mm-hmm. About the same size.
Yeah.
Wow. I love the baring teeth part too. That was funny. Later notes, just a grin. She
A sign of friendship.
She was smiling at me. That's insane. Wow. Just fuck space. Oh man.
It also kind of had like a Star Trek feel to it. Like I've never really watched Star Trek, but I know the premise of it, and I've always said this that. So the premise of Star Trek is that all on Earth, everybody kind of came together for world peace because the planet was going down, right? Like if they didn't explore space, they were screwed, like we are, right? Something like that.
It depends on which starting point you're talking about.
Okay. So basically the premise is world peace on Earth. Everybody came together, united to create a colony, allegiance to go out to space, all as one.
Well, a colony as humans.
Yeah.
And then from there you get allegiances with different races and planets that they inhabited, in which then through the allegiance you get the diversity of beings, diversity of species.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
And then that's where you kind of roll into the, all the different aliens that are all a part of the fleet. Then continuing on that same track.
Yeah. Yeah, because
of universal peace.
Yeah, because basically, Star Trek is looking out towards space as a solution instead of focusing on the Earth or going to the ocean.
Yeah.
So I like that concept of basically world peace to further our race and push it further out into space. I like that.
But I just love as a whole how we are made out to be these just super brute, animalistic savages. And then the first encounter is, we're here to help.
Yeah.
Man,
I think the thing that I love the most is just the fact, like, the pure difference of where it's almost like they're kind of, like, to put it in perspective, like they're like a tribe, right? Where they use, you know, sails and stuff to, like, travel, like, oceans and that. They seem to do the same thing for space. Like, they're not fighting the physics. And for us, we don't know any other way. Like, the only thing we've ever found as power is literally just explosions.
Yeah.
So that's all we use. And
also,
to them, they're just like, that's terrifying. That is crazy. What are they doing?
But also at the same time, they're significantly smaller.
Yeah.
You know, so a 4 or 5 man space crew fits the whole spaceship is just the size of the landing pod, you know, of like the re-entry of a spaceship.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm sure you could utilize solar winds and stuff like that for a smaller shuttle. But yeah, they seem like a much more peaceful approach. Or maybe they came from, a planet where, you know, there wasn't as huge of a pull of gravity.
Yeah.
Or something where it took significantly less to get out of the
less
atmosphere.
force to get up there. Did you guys want to hear the rules
Absolutely.
of how to deal with humans?
yeah, okay.
Okay. Don't eat human food. The human food passes your lips, beak, membrane, other way of ingesting nutrition. You will never be satisfied with your ration bars again. Fuck you, Gordon Ramsay. You've made it too good.
So these are alien rules to...
Like,
for humans. For us.
For them dealing with us.
Oh, okay. Because when they start eating our food, they'll be like us and be like, God, I can go for a
Like, this
cheeseburger."
is amazing.
Yeah.
What have we been eating?
Supersize me, bitch.
Oh my gosh. Blow those little people's minds with a freaking super large fry.
Next one. Don't tell them your name. Humans can find you again once they know your name, and this can be either life-saving or absolute worst thing that could happen to you, depending on whether or not they favor you. Better be on the safe side.
I like the like they're overthinking the rules where it's like when you meet a new person, you obviously get their name. Mm-hmm. And so like when you see that person again, you're like, "Hey, how's it going, Bob?" And you're just like, "Oh my God, he knows my name!" Like, scatter.
Well, also
break
be
a 40.
Be a tiny person,
Right.
and we could step on them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, holy shit, that's Jerry. Let's save him, or fuck you, Jerry.
Yeah. It's just I like the overthinking of everything. Of
Yeah.
like don't eat their food. You may like it.
So next one. Winning a human's favor will ensure that a great deal of luck is on your side. But if you anger them, they are wholly capable of wiping out everything you ever cared about. Do not anger them.
So the best part about this is we're basically gods and goddesses, but as a whole population, there's not just onesies and twosies. We're all that.
I also like the fact that it seems like us humans don't know that.
Yeah.
And so we're just being us, and we're just like, you know, offering our food.
It's like we're a world of Thanoses, but we live our lives like we're Lenny. Like,
yeah.
I just want to hug you and kiss you and love you and squeeze you.
You're not wrong.
I just like that part of just like giving, like offering them food, just being nice, getting to know their names, and also like if like they're being nice to us, but we're just like, oh yeah, we're also being nice, unless they piss us off and then we just kill them because we're brutes.
Step on them or put a giant suitcase on top of them.
The next one I
Mousetrap.
really like. If you must anger them, carry a cage of Zarvizian blood flies with you. for they resemble Earth mosquitoes, and humans will avoid them. Edit. This does not always work. Have a last will and testament ready.
Where it's just a nuisance for us.
Well, the good thing about that, the funny thing to think about that too is like it's scientifically proven that like mosquitoes like certain blood types and stuff like that. Like A positive is the most least appealing blood to a mosquito. So I get bit significantly less than someone else that has a different kind of blood type.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Learning shit.
From Alien Talk.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What was that name again?
Zarvizian.
No, I meant the other one, mosquitoes.
Mosquitoes. Like, it's literally like...
Mosquitoes. Love it.
That's right.
Great.
I love the next one. This one's also fantastic. Last rule. Do not let them take you anywhere on your planet that you cannot fly a ship from. Beings who are spirited away to the human kingdom of Aria 51 rarely return, and those that do are never quite the same.
It's like we're probing them.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hold on, can you say the Area 51 thing again?
Aria 51.
It's like a pop singer from
It's K-pop.
yeah.
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 Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, I mean, in all technicality, if we did find a smaller life form, would we not?
Toothpick?
No. But would we not? I feel like
Q-tip?
we would. We would essentially, test, prod, and poke.
Oh, we absolutely would.
Yeah, if we found someone small, versus if you ran across alien.
We do that with fucking, like, animals all the time. Like, why wouldn't we do that with an alien species?
Yeah, at least a couple of them. Just borrow them.
They won't know.
Yeah, exactly.
They won't return the same though. Like I also picture a little alien like showing up and just going, "I changed my name from Xanadu to Carl. I have a 9-to-5 job, 5 days a week. I have a wife and kids." We just culture them, and putting them in a docile.
And it's just him like he has like, oh, here's a picture of my family, and it's his wife holding a child, and he's standing on the shoulder of a human woman.
Yeah,
for his family portrait.
Really gets into the good spots. Was that all the rules?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was all the rules.
Should we make up a couple?
We could try. Absolutely.
What's something that aliens should be worried about us?
I feel like something to do with pissing or shitting. Defecation.
Okay, you went for a poop joke, okay. I would say our means of fun. Like entertainment wise.
Like football.
Yeah,
like
like
physical contact sports.
Yeah, or like
Fuck that. If they're worried about our own technology, think of what we do for entertainment. Like
Go
dragsters and like...
going shooting.
Yeah.
Just set up a target and shoot at it. Like that's probably insane for them.
Our guns are bigger than they are.
Yeah.
Our small guns are bigger than they are.
But between like doing like karaoke, and they're just like,
Well, that's not necessarily... I mean, you're kind of writing them off. I feel like they have fun. They just seem like they...
Except
they
for
seem
unless
like,
they're hearing us sing Bodies by Disturbed.
let the bodies hit the floor.
Well, I'm saying I think they
It's
still...
their war chant.
Okay, I'm saying it has to do with anything that is more of a physical aspect.
Mm-hmm.
Not just karaoke as a whole. I promise you they probably have karaoke to an extent.
I would say they don't have karaoke. I would say they have like songs and chanting and stuff. Like they like set up a fire and they're just like
They
doing a bunch
have
of
weapons. They found us before we found them.
Yeah.
They are more technologically advanced than we are. They have fucking karaoke.
I'm sure they have karaoke.
They're not only doing music around a fucking fire
Okay,
with
okay.
a headdress.
Okay, how about this? Any aliens out there? contact us and tell us your favorite karaoke, your go-to karaoke song. Like Gage's is
Handlebars.
by,
Flowbots.
okay, and Brad's is
Tequila.
by,
I have no idea.
good job,
Tequila.
Dakota. That was good. That was good. Well done.
You knew I could whistle.
Yeah, just not in beat.
I've played an instrument.
Oh, that's right, because not a lot of people know Gage used to be a band geek.
Orca Dork.
Orca Dork.
Because I played the violin.
That's right, because I also
There's a fucking difference, Brad.
that's,
It makes me laugh every time you say that, though.
that reminds me, at one point in my phone contacts, I switched Pidgeotto to Orca Dork.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I changed it back because Pidgeotto was better, but Orca Dork is so good.
Also, I had listened to Sexual Tyrannosaurus Rex the other day.
Again.
And I had forgot that I said that I should change all my handles. And it kind of relit that fire that makes me want to change my handles.
So you've done that now, though, right?
Not yet.
Okay.
It'd take a lot. I'll work on it.
Okay.
I mean, we have to do a poll.
Oh, okay.
Huh?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. That's gonna happen.
To have it be Pidgeotto Gage or...
I'll fucking fight you.
Oh, how about this? We'll do a poll, Sexual Tyrannosaurus Rex, and then the other option, Brad and I will come up with without discussing it with you. And we'll let the audience decide. You did this to yourself.
Well, so all my handles on everything other than a gaming platform is just like Gage dot last name, Gage underscore, Gage dash, to that extent. But all my gaming handles are Engage. Like the letter in and either like an X Engage or like
360.
X Engage X or something to that degree, because
14.
back in like the 6th grade, we were playing Halo 3 at my buddy's house, Alec, and his older brother, we were playing Halo 3 LAN.
Okay.
Like running an Ethernet cable from his room to his brother's room on both the Xboxes. And this is like really the first big time that I got into, I guess, really gaming. On that degree, like I always played like more like Crash Bandicoot style games versus like first person shooters, and kind of stuff like that. So playing Halo 3, and I fucking sucked. Little do you know, Nokia came out with a gaming console at one point in time called the Engage. And my buddy's older brother said, dude, you fucking suck at this game like an Engage. And ever since then,
It's just stuck.
my gaming, it just stuck. So anything gaming related, Switch, Xbox, if I had a PlayStation, everything is Engage. That's always, even like Game Center on my iPhone and stuff, like it's just always been Engage. So it would take a lot for me to like change all these handles.
Just the handles though for social media. You don't need to change it for.
Well, I feel if I'm doing this, I'm going all in.
Well, I hope you know, you can't have Sexual Tyrannosaurus Rex. That's too long. On like an Xbox or PlayStation.
It could be Sexual T-Rex.
No.
Holy shit!
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. I'm just saying you. I would,
That's fair. Okay,
at least
that's
social
fair.
media.
Man. If I change it though on social media, it's gonna be hard to unchange or to change again. So having you guys just come up with a random one, that's a big in for me.
Well, make sure you have your people like, share, and follow our social media stuff, and convince them to choose Sexual Tyrannosaurus or whatever Brad and I come up with over what Brad and I.
I feel like
come up with.
we should have like 4 options.
Can't do it. I can't do it on the poll for some reason. It only allows me to do 2. I guess no.
We can do it on Twitter though. I can do a Twitter one.
Maybe the list, because there's another option I just saw to make a list, so we could.
Well, you know what? Let's try it out on your Facebook, since you have less followers on your Facebook than our podcast page.
Shots fired.
You know what? I was gonna say a while ago when you were like, it just stuck. The end gauge just stuck, and I was thinking it's like my nickname that people always call me, little bitch. It just sticks. So anyway, that
does stick.
Yeah,
That's why we love you.
yeah. I was gonna roll right into an outro to see how. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's gonna end
Well,
it.
are we done? Is there
Are we
anything
done?
else?
Yeah.
Did you want to add another rule? Because we came up with rules.
We
We
didn't
didn't
really.
really come up with a rule.
Okay, I guess we did. You know, let Brad outro it. This is his episode of the podcast to talk to us about stuff.
Sure.
So if there's other stuff you want to talk about, go ahead. This is your soapbox. Well, that's a different segment.
We all know about your soapbox. But yeah, your episode. Anything else?
No,
No.
I'm good.
Okay.
I got a couple of questions. How long do you think it will take for us to colonize Mars, or at least get to Mars to?
I don't necessarily know if that's gonna be our next choice, because
Or the moon.
it has to be a forced colonization.
Because there's already plans back, let's see, was it 2020 or 2021, where their goal was to get to...
Did you say back and then used a future date?
Yes,
Well-
you did.
A couple of years ago, they mentioned...
Just so you know, it's not 2015. Letterkenny, no? Okay.
Fucking figured it.
I'm gonna need you to take it down about 20%.
Squarely then. So, long time ago, there was talks of, like, 2020, 2021 will be, like, when we start going.
Yeah, okay, a long time ago. Yeah, a long time ago of all the times. By 2000,
15?
2000s, we're supposed to have flying cars and shit. Well, we're about 19 years past that. We still don't have a flying car.
Just about.
So,
Oh, hold on. We do have flying cars.
not in a commercial
Okay.
industry.
I was about to say.
We don't
'Cause
have
there's
have
pictures.
flying fucking cities. We don't have all this other futuristic stuff that we're predicted to have at this point in time.
We have microwaves.
Wow.
Okay. I just want to say a couple of things. I'm really excited to see where SpaceX goes with Elon Musk heading that.
I am really excited to see where the Space Force goes.
Outro this motherfucker.
Anything else? You sure?
No, I think Elon Musk is a genius, and I'm glad he's a rich, successful person so he can better this world by being able to land rockets on pads. Eventually, we'll get to space.
We've been to space, Mike.
Get to space. What's the word he used? Commercially, I think he said.
I mean, is NASA not?
Well,
I mean, we technically have.
Well, so I watched an interview with Elon Musk, and they're talking about how this guy asked how these two astronauts basically said, like, we shouldn't be able to make space travel a commercial thing where, like, basically anyone can go. It needs to be sanctioned and organized through the government, like NASA. And Elon Musk was like, well, I'm sorry to, like, that sucks that they're saying that kind of stuff, because they're the whole reason I'm doing this. I'm doing this for, you know, Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, all these guys who have, and women who have been to space. I'm doing it for them. So it sucks that, you know, they don't see my dream, and I hope they can come visit and we can talk about it, and they could see the work I've put into bettering mankind and the future of us as a race.
Well, unfortunately, the government's always going to restrict that.
Well, good thing Elon Musk is rich and he doesn't abide by at least U.S. government because he's from Africa.
I think he forgot the moral of the story. And
Have you, Gage? Do you like Weezer?
Yeah.
Have you listened?
Fun fact: I've been to a Weezer concert in middle school,
dude.
way back in the day.
Dude, Weezer, Tenacious D, and Foo Fighters are all touring together.
What's the closest city?
I don't know. I need to look it up.
It's probably gonna be Vegas. Are we doing 2 Vegas trips this year?
I hope so.
well, here's the thing. Foo Fighters have been here. But anyway, have you listened to their Teal album?
Maybe not directly in my mind, but maybe unintentionally. Like,
them doing covers of songs, and one of them was Africa.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Full circle. Thank you for that.
And I can't remember. I want to say it was the Toto, the person who originally sang Africa, did a cover of the Sun, Island in the Sun. They did a cover of Weezer's Island in the Sun. I think that's right.
I'll have to look into it.
But the Teal album is actually pretty good.
We have to see when and where the closest city is, because that would be a cool.
Probably be
tour.
Nevada or New Mexico, Arizona.
Well, Nevada would be another Vegas one.
Or
Texas.
it's gonna be. I feel like the closest is gonna be Salt Lake
South Carolina,
or Vegas.
Dakota,
I don't think Dakota would appreciate
Oregon.
a concert on this face.
Washington, Rhode Island,
Outro.
All right.
Massachusetts,
Well, I think that's it for this one.
Florida.
Anything else to say, Gage?
No, I think that's just about it.
All right.
Virginia,
We'll see you guys later.
Oklahoma.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Best Friends Discuss. We'll see you on the next episode.
I've been Mike.
Yes, you have.
Damn it,
Deuces.
God damn it, Brian. You're supposed to say your guys' names too.